When I saw that clip, that gruesome injury that Nick Chubb suffered on that Monday night football game at the beginning of the week, initially I was like, damn, dude, his season over with. Then I thought a little more about it, and I was like, does this prove the NFL owners right, though? Because this summer you had a whole lot of analysts and ex players, you know, up in arms about the contract negotiations and how the NFL owners and the NFL Players Association kind of screwing over the running backs and how the contracts don't work out in the running backs' favors, and how it's like a silent agreement amongst owners to agree to lowball all these running backs. And you had like Saquon Barkley and Jonathan Taylor. You had, I think Nick Chubb was one of them that came out. You had Austin Eckler that came out. There's a couple of running backs that came out and said it's kind of unfair the way they do running backs. But considering, like, looking at the owner's point of view, you look at Exhibit A with Nick Chubb, one of, if not the best running back in the league the last couple of years. If you look at the man's production, now he's out 2 weeks into the football season in injury. This may derail his career for the remainder of his career, or he may retire after this because it's the exact same leg he injured coming out of college. Well, he injured while he was in college. That's why he fell so low in the draft. But Nick Chubb just got his contract a couple years ago. I think it was like 3 years, 12 million or something like that. So when you have that, you had McCaffrey who just got healthy last season. He was injured 2 years straight with that high ankle issue he had. You had Derrick Henry. He's hurt. He's been hurt the last couple of years with like lower body injuries. You had Saquon, the beginning of his career. He didn't play 2 years because of injuries. And it's like, at some point, do you really blame the owners for not wanting to pay the running backs and just getting them on their rookie deals and shipping them out, getting them in and out of it, like running them through the ground, getting like 300 plus carries out of them till their rookie deal run out and get another one in it, or they do it by running back by committee, or do you just pay them what they're worth and the production that they gave you before, rather than what they give you after, considering that they prone to get hurt. Like the average shelf life for running backs, I think is like 4 to 5 years or something like that. And granted, back in like the 70s, 80s, 90s, even early 2000s, even to like the late 2000s up into the 2010s, running back were held in high regard, and they were paid like it. It was a quarterback, running back, then defensive end, defensive backs, wide receiver. It was that little. It was kind of like that pecking order. But now the offensive linemen are kind of getting, they just doing the kickers, and the running backs are kind of like on the bottom of the list now because the owners are looking at it like these dudes just can't stay healthy, and it makes no sense to pay them because you're gonna end up owing them all this money, and they just gonna sit on the bench. But nobody talks about that. Everybody just talks about how it's the victim thing that everybody does now. Everybody wants to be a victim. Not to say that it's right for the owners not to want to pay these dudes. It's kind of not the owner's fault. That's their job to pay less money and get what they can out of the investments. So if they can find a way not to pay you, they gonna do that. But that's on the NFL's Players Association. Those dudes need to do a better contract at getting these players paid, getting better guaranteed contracts. I don't know if you'd be able to do that, seeing that football is such a it's a pretty much 100% injury rate in football. Every player has been injured. Every player is going on that hour at some point. Just look at Aaron Rodgers. Now he tore his Achilles. Now the Jets are kind of like in shambles now. They don't even have a quarterback right now because Zach Wilson, he's not a starter. But back to the Nick Chubb situation and the running backs. So who do you agree with? Do you agree with the owners that these dudes really shouldn't get all the money and get as less money as possible because you're not gonna plan on using them like that? Or do you agree with the media and the players that they should just get paid what they worth? Just